What's going on, guys? Welcome to another video. In today's video I'll be showing you guys the settings I use on Tradingview on my iPad. I personally think these settings are the best settings to use. However, if you think I'm missing anything, do let me know in the comment section down below. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so let's start by looking at the chart settings that I personally use. There's two ways to access your chart settings. First, you can double tap the candlesticks on the chart, or you can tap the three dots at the bottom of the chart and simply click chart settings. Here I like to change the appearance a little bit to my liking. So let's start with the candlesticks. I personally like to have the body of my bullish candles in white and the bearish candles in green. Of course these can be any colour, but I personally go with these colours. For borders I go with black, and same for the wicks. So let's quickly change these. When it comes to the backgrounds of my charts, I personally like to have a solid white background. I personally feel that it helps me see price action and patterns more clearly. For this reason, I don't like to have any vertical or horizontal grid lines on my charts. Another setting you can have on is session breaks. Session breaks divides up the market sessions on the chart for you. This can be helpful when identifying session highs and lows. I personally don't have the setting on, however it can be useful to some. And then the last change that I make to my chart settings is hiding the economic events on my chart. I personally get my news from other sources and just don't like the event symbols on my chart. However, if you do decide to get rid of them, it's important that you still know when the economic events are. So if you do decide to get rid of them off your charts, make sure you are still aware of the fundamentals taking place on the day. Okay, so next let's take a look at the drawing tool settings. Let's start by looking at the long and short position tools. These are probably two of the most important tools that you'll be using on Tradingview, as they will allow you to monitor both your short and long positions. Okay, so first we have the long position tool. As we can see, the default template is good, however it isn't quite how we want it. As currency traders, we know that we'll be placing both a take profit and stop loss on every position we enter. So we want our long position indicator to show our stop loss and take profit. The most commonly used stop loss and take profit is usually around 30 pips. So what we can do is adjust our long position tool to show us a 30 pip take profit and 30 pip stop loss, like so. We can also change the colour of this tool to whatever we like. I personally have grey and green. Green indicates that my trade is in profit and grey tells me I'm in drawdown. Once we have done this, we can save this to our template by clicking here. And we can save this template as 30 pips. Now every time we enter a trade, we don't have to adjust our take profit and stop loss. We can simply select the template and drag it wherever we like. I personally also like to have a 50 pip template with a 30 pip stop loss, so I'd save this template also. Okay, so the second tool which you'll be using a lot for your technical analysis on Tradingview is the trendline tool. With the default trendline tool, you'll find that it only extends as far as you draw it. So as you can see, I can't extend it any further left or right. But if you go into the trendline tool's settings, you can toggle the extend left and extend right settings. This will make your trend lines extend all the way to the left into the past, and all the way right into the future. This is helpful when identifying past key support and resistance levels and trend lines. Also, the trend line will extend all the way to the right, meaning you won't have to keep manually extending it towards the right in the future. This will help with time wasting and with the accuracy of your trend lines. Once we've adjusted the settings to our liking, we can save this tool to our favorites. Okay, so another tool which you may use is the Fibonacci tool. I personally think the default Fibonacci tool looks unnecessarily overcomplicated and kinda makes it difficult to read price action and identify trends on your chart. So the first setting I like to change is the background of the Fibonacci tool. I like to untick the box for background, as this allows me to see the candles on the chart a lot more clearly. Then I untick the prices box, as I am only interested in the Fibonacci reversal levels. Then I change the levels from values to percents. Then I move the labels from left to right so that the labels are more clearly visible. And the last change I make is using one colour for the Fibonacci tool, as there is no need for it to be multicoloured. So I change this to a simple colour like black. So as you can see, the Fibonacci tool looks a lot better now on the chart after the changes we've made. Once we've made all these changes, we can save it to our templates. And like the other drawing tools, I can add the Fibonacci tool to my favourites now. Another tool which I occasionally use is the rectangle tool. This tool helps when identifying consolidation zones. The settings are as follows. I change the border colour to black and take the background opacity all the way down to 0. This minimal design allows me to draw around consolidation zones on the chart and still clearly see all price action within the area. Once the settings are all ready, you can save it to your templates and use it whenever necessary. You can also add this to your favourites. Okay, next let's take a look at the watch list. When it comes to the watch list, I think it's important you tidy it up and tailor it to your requirements. So the first thing I do is get rid of all the assets I don't trade. Then what I like to do is add the pairs in which I trade daily. And lastly, I reorganize them into an order which makes it easy to navigate between on a daily basis. When it comes to indicators, I don't really use many. I simply use the exponential moving average, or EMA. I use 3 EMAs, 50, 100 and 200, as these seem to work best for me. If there is better ones, let me know in the comment section down below. Alright guys, so that's the TradingView settings that I use on my iPad. Hopefully you can use some of these settings to help you with your trading. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, and I'll catch you in the next one.